Aries, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. My name is Michelle, and in this video we're going to go over the major planetary aspects and transits and how they are interacting with your natal sun and what that means for your week. This is for the week of May 4th to the 10th, 2023. I've got all my notes written down for you guys. Let's dig in. Aries, we're going to start with the really broad stuff that's going to impact everybody, and then we're going to focus in on the things that Aries specifically, all of you guys should be focused on, and then I will break things down into the decans. And a decan is a group of 10 degrees. There are 3 decans in every zodiac sign, including Aries, because every zodiac sign has 30 degrees. So every decan is a group of 10 degrees, and there are 3 in Aries. If your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees, you are decan 1, and so I'm going to refer to you as Aries 1. If your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees, you are Aries 2, and if your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees, you are Aries 3. We break things down this way because everything in astrology is based on geometry. That's right, all the aspects are angles. An aspect is a relationship that an angle creates between 2 different planets, and 30 degrees, there's a big difference. So Aries born at the beginning of the month are not going to experience things the same way as Aries born at the end of the month, and in the middle of the month they could be experiencing something, not something total, they could be experiencing things in a different way from a different perspective. So it's important to know where your natal sun is. You don't have to for this video. What I will do is I will estimate the relative or correlating dates, and you do know your birth date, so that should help you guys out. But if you really want real accuracy, go and grab yourself your natal chart. I know a lot of you already have them. Natal chart is easy to find. You can just search on any search engine, free natal chart, and a bunch of websites will pop up. All you will need is your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your birth location. All of this information can be found on your birth certificate. If you don't have that, give a call to mom. She can get you that information, or anybody that can help you out or has access to your birth certificate. And then you plug in that information, and in like less than a couple of seconds, like in seconds, it spits out all your information for you, and you will definitely then know which degree in Aries your natal sun is located on. So let's start really broad, the big stuff that's happening this week. Aries, there is a full moon on the 5th, which for you guys, if you're watching this when it comes out and debuts, is tomorrow. It is a full moon in Scorpio, and it is a total penumbral eclipse. A penumbral eclipse is not as dark as an umbral eclipse, because it means it's not in the darkest part of Earth's shadow, but it is a total eclipse because it is going to be completely covered by this kind of lighter part of Earth's shadow. So we will not see it here, we as in people in the United States, and that goes for everybody in North, Central, and South America, the UK, Greenland, northern Europe, those parts will not see it. But if you are in Eastern Africa, you're on the East African coast up through India, even most of Western Europe, definitely India into Australia, you guys will be able to sort of witness this, and it's going to be beautiful. I love these phenomenon. So if anybody wants to email me pictures that they've taken, feel free. You don't have to worry about protecting your eyes in a lunar eclipse the way that we do when we're witnessing or recording a solar eclipse. So this is going to be a beautiful one. Really interesting. While the moon is in Scorpio. Now the moon is in Scorpio during this full moon. It is not comfortable in Scorpio at all. It is at its fall position in Scorpio because it's repressed. The moon represents our emotions and our psyche, and Scorpio represents hiding that stuff, hidden, pushing them down, pretending like you're not feeling your feelings, and it's really hard for the moon to be there. A full moon in Scorpio therefore means to purge the toxins that have built up because we've repressed them for too long. This is going to be a powerful eclipse because it is, a powerful full moon because it is an eclipse. As well, it is in opposition to a sun that is conjunct both Uranus and Mercury retrograde. So there's a lot of curveballs and surprises that will come out of things information that is just being regurgitated or coming up again. So wait for the surprises. This is kind of a big explosive energy, especially since we have another really interesting aspect that's happening all week, and that is Jupiter square to Pluto. A couple of days into this week, Jupiter will also square to Mars. It'll be in a rough, like a loose square to Mars, and that will intensify into next week, thereby making Pluto in opposition to Mars. What does this mean? It is like the Roto-Rooter. It is like relentless. Think about relentless. That's what the energy is. It's going to get something done, whether people like it or not. The intensity is exceptional this week, and I feel like there's just a big kaboom. Like, but in a way that you need it to like liberate you and get those toxins out. On the 7th of this week, Venus is going to move into Cancer. Venus is currently in Gemini. That's interesting because Venus is a lot happier in Cancer. She's just a lot cozier, and things get more long-term, like value systems are based around the family and around who wants to be nurturing people and showing love, expressing love, and being really open about it. So that's a really nice mood that Venus is setting in Cancer. And then I said all week long, let's see, we got into the primary stuff that I wanted to go over. It's the 6th, so in a couple of days, Mars squares Jupiter. Now that impacts you directly, and it kind of slides us right into the astrological phenomenon that Aries should be paying attention to. Whatever Mars does, you guys should be paying attention to. It is your ruling dignitary. And since it is an inner planet, you are going to feel this big time. You're going to feel the shifts and changes and things happening to Mars, like where Mars is. And Mars is in Cancer right now, which makes it really wishy-washy and kind of sweet. It's a sweeter form of Mars and more passive-aggressive form of Mars than Mars generally likes. Let's put it that way. Mars is moving now between 21 degrees and 24 degrees Cancer. It is square to Jupiter and opposite Pluto by the 7th. It is also trine to Chiron trine to Neptune, it's been for a while, which is beautiful. It means we're taking action on what we wanted to amalgamate or manifest into reality. We're taking action because everything starts in Neptune. Everything starts in Pisces. Everything starts in the energy of the impossible until it isn't. And it means that trine means we're taking action and we're doing and we're engaging our creativity. And that's how we become very productive and actually manifest things into reality. That's a really nice energy for you. Mars is going to be trine to the full moon. That means that it'll help to bring harmony to you. There is a harmony in action and doing, and maybe even a balancing out or healing that is happening to the body especially, or things, actions or words that are being said or passed in the family. So something like maybe even taking action on creating a family, some sort of harmony or harmonizing or balancing, stabilizing, or rest, peacefulness coming in the family dynamic, something within the family dynamic, because Mars is in Cancer. Basically, it's just not going to want to be all that aggressive this week. It's going to kind of want to let happen what happens because it needs to. Let's put it that way. It is, I said square to Chiron. No, Venus is square to Chiron. Oh, no, Mars is square to Chiron because Chiron is mid-Aries. So Mars is square to Chiron this week, but it will not be square for very long because Mars is moving into the 3rd decan of Cancer, and Aries is still in the 2nd decan of Chiron is still in the 2nd decan of Aries. So no, the square isn't going to last that long, and it is decreasing in intensity as we speak. It's those of you who are born more toward the beginning part of the 3rd decan. No. So it's those of you who are born toward the end of the 2nd decan of Aries. So what are the correlating dates? I don't know. The 12th, say around the 12th, 11th, 12th, 13th, around there. Those of you who are born around that time, it's probably going to impact you for a little while longer, but not really anybody else, and for not much longer. Mars square to Chiron is actually kind of risky behavior. You're a lot more accident prone when this is happening. Yeah. So be careful with yourself and don't try to take any risks, and watch out for impulsivity, because there could be this energy of injury around you. Just an FYI. Let's go into the decans, because we seem to have slid into it by itself. Aries 1. So in Aries right now, in Aries is Chiron and Jupiter. And Chiron is at 17 degrees Aries, and Jupiter is going to transit between 27 and 28 degrees Aries this week. Okay, so Chiron is in the second decan of Aries, and Jupiter is in the third decan of Aries. That means Aries 1, you're not impacted by either of them. Your natal suns, however, are sextile to Pluto. This means bring on the change, opportunity. You're going to go for it. You're going to get it. And the fact that that square to Jupiter is happening is going to be even more relentless. This is a time for exceptional change that is going to open and expand your life. But this is a long-term transit, so don't expect it to happen just this week. This is over the next couple of years. This week in particular, your natal suns, but only if you are born at the very cusp of Aries. So the cusp of Aries and Pisces. Venus is going to be square to your natal suns. That means you could feel compromised in your self-esteem about the way that you look or feel about yourself, be agitated or irritated when it comes to romantic situations or relationships. It is not a good week for you to schedule hair appointments or painting around the house. Don't make any major aesthetic changes or purchases. Big purchases are not a good thing to make when your natal sun is squared to Venus, though you could try to throw money at something because to heal what doesn't want to be healed. And so watch how much you spend, and watch what you spend on when your natal sun is square to Venus. That is a big old FYI just for this week. But long term, with that sextile to Pluto, it's actually beautiful things. Like it's your butterfly wings starting to grow out and expand. So this is a time of transformation for you, especially socially, because Pluto is in Aquarius. So Aries 2. Okay, your natal suns are conjunct to Chiron. Now, they have been for quite some time. We talk about this almost every week because it's been this way. This could compromise, not necessarily compromise, no. It is when you find inspiration from your pain and suffering. Not that you look for pain and suffering, that's not what it is. But that what you have gone through and what you've experienced is now creating a sense of inspiration for you to do something and transform yourself by transforming that pain. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are engaged in those kind of activities to sort of put purpose to your struggles and what you've struggled through, especially by helping others. If you're driven to do that, now you know why. And that is a long-term transit. It's been with you for a couple of years, and it will be for a couple of more. This week, your natal suns are quincunx to the full moon, and the sun conjunct Uranus, which is part of that full moon, is kind of in a blind side. It's like about 30 degrees of your natal sun, which is kind of like a blind spot, and it can cause some frustration and irritation. Frustrating emotions and discoveries are emerging, especially around this full moon. So it's not going to be something that you can avoid. Just know that something frustrating or agitating is going to be impacting you this week, the 4th, 5th, 6th especially. Okay, Aries 3. You're the lucky ones that get your natal sun conjunct to Jupiter, which it has been for a while and will be for a little while, about 2 weeks more before Jupiter transits into Taurus. on the 20th of May, I believe that happens. So you guys have Jupiter conjunct to you for a little bit while longer. And those of you born on the Aries Taurus cusp will still have Jupiter conjunct your natal sun, even when it transits into Taurus. It'll actually last for a couple weeks beyond that. So lucky you. That's just about fortune. Well, no, it's actually not, because in my natal chart, I have my sun conjunct Jupiter. Let me tell you what it is. It is optimism, but optimism sometimes to a fault, because even when you want to be sad, sometimes it doesn't let you be. It kind of keeps pushing you and makes you think, I deserve this, but do you? It could be kind of cockiness and big-headedness, as well as confidence and certainty and courage. So it just depends on the way you allow it to, and if you allow it to use you or if you use it. So if you use this energy to encourage your courage and trust your inspiration, this is wonderful, blessed energy. But don't let it make you big-headed or make you think like get outside of yourself or make your head too big, because you could put yourself into situations that you are just not going to do well at. I'm just letting you know. You are, however, also blessed this week with a sextile to Venus. So conjunct Jupiter sextile to Venus is that is such a blessed week, guys. You should really, really be excited. This is a wonderful time to meet people, a wonderful time for your relationships to get deeper and to fall deeper in love with somebody. This is a wonderful time to meet somebody if you're single. This is a wonderful time to fix up your house or spruce up the hair. This is great opportunity when it comes to making larger purchases or financial income. Beautiful, beautiful week. You are square to Mars. Your natal suns are square to Mars. What does that mean? Well, it just means that you're feeling more agitated, feeling rushed, and a kind of impulsive. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to slow yourself down. It is very important, if you're very athletic, to not push yourself too hard when your sun is square Mars, because that could result in more injury, especially with Mars also being square to Chiron. You really don't want to tempt that. I'm just letting you know. Sextile to Saturn. This is a long-term transit that'll go on for the rest of this year. Only cusps, I say. So cusps for Aries 3, Taurus cusps. So what does that mean? It means that there's opportunities and growth for your career, for your business sense, or what you're building out in the world. Opportunities and doors will open up for you when it comes to bosses, rules, authority figures. It'll just jive with you and work for you, and that's for the next year. So I think we talked about this last week. This is a great time for career growth for you guys, and this week is quite beautiful for falling in love and getting things more beautiful, and people really receiving you extremely well this week. So you could use that Saturnian help along with the conjunction to Jupiter and the sextile to Venus to go get yourself a new position or land yourself that deal. This would be a perfect week to do it. I love you guys so much, and I do hope that you will come on over and join me over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. Please remember, subscribe to this channel. I make a new video for you guys every single week. All 12 zodiac signs get an astrology breakdown every week. So I hope that you will come back and watch. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye, Aries.